I'd like to personally thank all the schools that came out to support the Inside the Program 941 Boys Basketball Media Day. This started as a vision that I had to simply celebrate our student athletes and allow the community to get an inside look at who these young men are. And it turned into something that exceeded my expectations. I first like to acknowledge our host sponsor, IMG Academy, as they opened up the doors, rolled out the red cap carpet, and made sure that we felt just like home. Thank you. I'd like to thank all our media partners, specifically Mr. Xavier McKnight from ABC7, who conducted all our one-on-one interviews with the coaches and did an amazing job. Truth be told, our media partner who did our coach and team interviews, thank you guys, and thank you guys. Premier Choice Group, who was our event and brand coordinator, they did a great job of just hosting the event and making sure everything was top-notch. And Visionary Club as a donation sponsor. Today's event couldn't happen without all parties involved, and I'm extremely honored and I'm extremely grateful for everybody that participated. Now, let's play ball.
We are back at the 941 Boys Basketball Media Day for boys high school hoops here on the Sun Coast in Manatee and Sarasota counties at IMG Academy here today on Saturday, November 1st. And we are pleased now to be joined by the head coach of the Saint Stephens Episcopal Falcons program, Mr. Kevin Sutton. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity, and I'm really blessed to be here.
You are entering your first year at the helm with this program. They went 7-18 a year ago. On your first day that you got there, what was your message to the guys?
My very first day there, my message to the guys is the same one that I gave to them today in our practice. We had 4 objectives, and the number 1 objective was that we were going to build a basketball program that was going to be reflexive of the school, and we were going to do that by first winning our building, which was our gymnasium, and we wanted to make sure that we established our culture of work. And so we actually got to work. We started, working really hard in the weight room. We started working really hard in our study hall. We started working extremely hard on our actual game. And then our number 2 objective was that we wanted to win our community, which was the school community. And so we started a community service project each month. In the month of August, when school started, we had a shoe drive, and we collected 155 pairs of shoes, and we gave those to charity. And during the month of September, we did the Read with the Falcon program, where every student reached out to the lower school and read to them. And in the month of October, we did basketball bonanza and trick or treating. And then in the month of November, we have a food pantry. So we wanted to win the community, and we've done that. And then number 3 objective was to make sure that we build a program that was reflective of our community as well as the county here in Manatee. And we took our fall league, and we played up and down the I-75 corridor and played in the Great Fall League. And then we went up, and now we're going to take it, up and down the I-4 corridor in east and west. And so we wanted to win the county. And then our 4th objective was that we were going to build a program that was going to take it statewide once we met all 3 of those other objectives.
I want to speak to one of those objectives in particular, and that would be the community involvement. What are the lessons that you believe these young men are learning through everything that they've been doing with all of that?
That's a great question. And what they're learning is, we talk about it all the time in our program, is the Bible passage, Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much is expected. So it's really, really important for them to understand that they are blessed with the ability to play the game of basketball. But with that blessing becomes a great deal of responsibility. And so in every program that I've ever designed or built, community service has always been a huge part of it. So I want them to learn the value of being responsible with the blessings that they have, but more importantly, to share those blessings with other people in every which way that they possibly can. So that's what they're learning.
With the 3 returning players that you have, they're all juniors, but how have you challenged those 3 in particular to really take that next step in leadership and make this their locker room? Because obviously the job of the coach and his staff is to be there to help mold, guide, and teach and motivate those young men along the way. But most locker rooms are at their best when the players are also taking control of things too.
Absolutely. We all know that successful teams are player-led teams. So I do teach leadership. But more importantly, I teach leadership and fellowship. So I do that in every way, whether it be in the community, whether it be in the classroom, and definitely on the court. One thing that I do to teach leadership and fellowship is I give them ownership of the drill. So, for example, I could say, Joseph, take drill number 1, and I'm going to teach everything through Joseph. So, meaning that the success or the failure will depend on how well Joseph demonstrates the drill. And then I'll say, drill number 2, Paxton, you take the lead of that drill. So now Paxton has to rotate from being a follower to the front of the line to be the leader. And Joseph now has to rotate from the lead into being a follower. So leadership and fellowship go hand in hand. Just recently, we did breast cancer awareness 5K, and I had a meeting on campus. So I called Paxton Rosen, one of our leaders from our leadership council, and said, "Hey, listen, I need you to make sure that this is very, very, very successful." And he handled it remarkably because I empowered him, and the players know that I trust them and I believe in them. And then they, in turn, trust and believe in me. So we do teach leadership and fellowship, and we feel the value of them going hand in hand, and it's only helped make us a stronger team. So to those 3 returning players, they've had to learn right along with the new players that are coming in. That it's a we, us, our thing. It's not just the players that were there last year and the players that are coming in. It's we, us, our, plural pronouns.
You already somewhat answered this, but I'm still going to ask it anyway. What are some of the ways that you have encouraged this group to cultivate relationships amongst each other off the court to help build camaraderie and chemistry that's going to be beneficial more than likely for anything that they do out there on the hardwood this upcoming season?
Well, I would be remiss to try to take credit for what the culture that we built and the camaraderie. These young men have come together, and yes, through their hard work, through what we call shared suffrage, okay, through their hard work, they have bonded really, really well. But they have taken it to a whole nother level. I have not had to set up anything outside of our team practices and our study hall and our weight. I haven't had to do anything to formulate bonding. They have all done that. I have great leaders, okay, and those guys have in their own way. I'll tell you an example. Joseph Littleton, who's the point guard, is a great leader who has a heart for the Lord, and he has helped our team grow spiritually. Okay, Gerard Long is really energetic, and him and Millen and Paxton and all of the guys, they have this thing called on TikTok. They're going to go viral. So they dance every day and do a TikTok and they send it out, and it's amazing, you know. And then, but I call them my Waffle House guys. You know, I tell them I don't want IHOP guys. I want Waffle House, because I heard that they went and ate at Waffle House together as a team. And then since then, that's our thing. Is like, hey, I want a group of Waffle House guys. I don't want a group of IHOP guys. And they've done that all organically. They're going to go paintballing. They celebrate each other's birthdays. They celebrate each other's success. And then that's what, in turn, it makes it so much easier for them to hold each other accountable. And in our program, what we do is we call you up, and then we call you out.
When it comes down to the on-court product solely, what does it look like for you to see these guys getting 1% better each day?
Oh, it's tremendous. I mean, it's the reason why I coach. You know, I had great coaches when I was, you know, a player, and then the opportunity to become a coach myself. You know, this is the reason why. You know, because you pour your heart and your soul into this, and you dedicate yourself to your players, and in turn, they believe in you. You know, because what do we all know as human beings? In order to, before you buy into something, you got to believe in it first, okay? And so they believe in me because they know I believe in them, all right? And so what we do is just continue to impact each other, and we truly believe in the Bible passage, iron sharpens iron. They make me better, okay, and I make them better, and then together, then we're all going to be better.
For your returning players, have they completely put last season and the results that happened behind them, or are they using it as a driving, motivating force going into this year?
Oh, this is all new. Everything that we do, we talked about looking forward. Okay, we don't dwell on the past. I wasn't there last year. Okay, so I don't even focus on last year. I didn't even know what the record was until I was asked the question from 941 people what the record was. I had to go ask somebody, because it's all about the present and it's all about moving things forward. Because if it wasn't anything like that, they would keep their, you know, the program would have stayed the same, you know. But now through Peter Crafts, the head of school, his leadership and his vision, and hiring me, yeah, we're definitely taking the program into another direction.
When it does come down to what you all do on the court, obviously everybody wants to get wins. But for you, what does success look like outside of wins or anything that happens out there on the hardwood?
We actually don't even talk about, our success. I tell them all the time, stop looking at the scoreboard. Stop looking at the scoreboard because we already winning. Okay, like I told you before, our 4 objectives, we have already won 2 of them. We wanted to win the building and establish a culture of work. We've already done that, so we won. Okay, we wanted to win our community, and we've already done that. So, winning for me, all right, is not equated to the number of victories. Because if you ask me right now, I could not tell you what my win-loss record is. Winning for me is impacting the lives of the student athletes that their parents trust me with, okay, so I can create living trophies, okay, and I put those people as my success. So that's how I define success, is how many lives have I changed, how many lives have I touched, how many lives did I put into a situation where they can be proud of who they are and who they've become. We don't equate success on the number of wins and losses. I will never be measured by that but at the end of the day, the good Lord will measure me on did I take my talents and use them to the best of their ability. And he'll never ask me, what would your win-loss record?
My final question for you is, what is your message to the community, the Bradenton, the Manatee County community, Saint Stephens supporters? What do you want them to know that they're going to see from this team this season when they watch them on the floor, but when they also see them out in the community?
That's an outstanding question. What we want the Bradenton community, the 941, we want them to see a first-class basketball program that has high-character young men that value education, that celebrate diversity, that love one another, okay, and they play for one another. And then we're big dreamers. And then we are community-oriented. We believe in the Bible passage, Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I would hope and would welcome that everybody would want to come and watch and see us play. And then from there, okay, that we can go out and touch the community and raise the level of basketball in this area and raise the level of awareness of basketball in this area. And then we can impact more lives through the awareness that Saint Stephens basketball is providing in this area.
All right, Coach Kevin Sutton joining us here on the 941 Boys Basketball Media Day here. Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'd like to welcome the Saint Stephens Falcons to the first 941 Boys Basketball Media Day. I'm one of your hosts, Reggie Davis, and this is also T. Green. We're from Truth Be Told podcast.
Matt Geller from Florida Sports Scene.
And Coach, I just want to go ahead and get started with this because, looking at what Saint Stephens did last year, right? Mm-hmm. The team had a record of 7-18, and I know you do have some guys that are returning to the program. You also have additional guys that have came into your program, but more importantly, they don't know who you are, Coach. You're new to Saint Stephens in general and into the area. Coach, what is going to be one of your main things to do to get these guys to play in one accord your way?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for this opportunity to be here today. I think what you are doing here with the 941 in the 941 and then on this platform is tremendous for the game of basketball. And I'm really privileged to have the opportunity to be the director of basketball at Saint Stephens. It's a school that I've known about. My wife works there. She's an educator there, and my daughter has attended school there for 2 years. So the opportunity for me to go over there and build my 4th nationally ranked high school basketball program is a tremendous challenge for me, but a challenge that I'm up to. In your question, you said they might not know me. I think that they do. The state of Florida, I've had a very successful run here in the state of Florida. For 8 years, I was the head coach at Montverde Academy, and I started that program. Many people think Kevin Boyle did, but in actuality, the truth is I did. So I started the program there and built the program from scratch. And this is, like I said, will be my 4th basketball program that I developed. I developed a basketball program called Montrose Christian, where Kevin Durant went to school. I was a head basketball coach at Bishop McNamara High School, and I was there for 2 years, and we had a player by the name of Taiwan Lawson. But the most important thing is I'm here at Saint Stephens and up here with these 4 young men and several other young men that have come to Saint Stephens to play for me, and we're going to build a basketball program that's going to represent our community, it's going to represent this area, and we're going to continue to do great things because they're quality men and they're quality student athletes. So they're going to play on one accord because we're going to be like the Temptations.
Coach, introduce your players and who you brought here with you.
To my left, I have Joseph Littleton. Joseph is a junior. We have a long-standing relationship. I was the technical director of basketball here at IMG Academy, and Joseph was a sophomore, and then he transferred last year to 212, but we had developed a relationship while we both were here at IMG Academy. To my right, I have Gerard Long. Gerard last year was an outstanding player at Braden River High School, and very, very familiar to everyone in this area. So I'm really happy and fortunate to have the opportunity for him to come play for me at St. Stephens. Next to Gerard is Paxton Rosen. Again, Paxton was an underclassman here at IMG Academy. I built a relationship with Paxton, as I do with all the student athletes that I come in contact with. And then his 2 sisters are at St. Stephens, and then he decided to come over to St. Stephens and help me build the basketball program. And then last, we have Millen Batson, and Millen is a junior, and he's a returning player from last year's team. And I'm really fortunate enough to have him on our team this year, and we're super excited with what we have to offer this area.
Coach, before we get into just get into your athletes, you named a vast amount of guys that's going to be a part of the program, and they were planted somewhere else, and now they're coming here to you. I always find it kind of difficult sometimes to get guys to be on that one accord, right? But how are you going to go about? I mean, you have different athletes, different styles to play. How are you going to get them to play though as a unit in such a short period of time? The season's about to start. We're here.
Oh, well, I took the job last spring, and so I quickly identified student athletes that could be successful students at St. Stephens. And we had 4 objectives. The first objective was we wanted to win the building, and that building was the gymnasium that we play in. And I wanted to establish a culture of work, and that's what we've done. We've put our head down. Okay, we've stayed in that gymnasium working on our craft. We've run camps. We've touched the community. We've started to lift weights. We've done a great deal of work in the gymnasium, so we've won that building. Number 2, we wanted to win our community, which is the school. And we do a community service project every month. The very first month of school in August, we collected 155 pairs of shoes, and we gave that to several different charitable organizations. And then the month of September, we had a Read with the Falcons program, where every one of these young men picked a grade, and then they went to that grade level and read with them, and it's been tremendous. And then this last month, which is the month of October, is Basketball Bonanza. So our whole entire school is understanding who we are. And these are great young men. All of them are well above 3.5 in their grade point averages. Millen's in the National Honor Society. I fully expect all of them to be in the National Honor Society, this year. And they're great role models in the school. They go to the girls' volleyball matches, and they participate in cheering sections and football games. So we won the school community. We won our community. And number 3, what we wanted to do was we wanted to win the county. Okay, meaning that we wanted to, when we start playing games, November 18th is our very first game. What we wanted to do is we wanted to put a product out on the floor that this the Bradenton area, as well as Manatee County and the 941 could recognize that St. Stephens is a program to be reckoned with. And then lastly, we wanted to take it up and down the I-75 corridor, north and south, and then going east and west of I-4 to make sure that we take it all the way across the state. One thing that I've done always in every area that I've been in, and most especially here in the state of Florida, was when I was at Montverde Academy, I reached out to a lot of different coaches in the area and connected the area. And if you take a look at the time frame that I was at Montverde in those 8 years, it was unbelievable with the talent that came out of there. Jason Rich over at Dr. Phillips, Keith Brumbaugh that was at D-Land High School. You had the Rivers, Jeremiah Rivers, and you had Austin Rivers, and those were players that were in the area that didn't play for me.
Right.
But then the players that did play for me, if you look during that time frame, the Orlando area was a hotbed for talent. And so what I want to do is continue to grow that, here in Bradenton and also here in Manatee County. Yeah. So those were our 4 objectives, and we're well on the way accomplishing all 4.
Sounds good.
I wanted to ask Coach Sutton, I know that you won a national championship at Mount Verdi, and I really wanted to get into that, but I want to direct this more to the players, because you touched on the fact that you've been able to build a relationship with them even prior to getting to Saint Stephens. But if you had me for a coach, you're like, who is this guy? But you know this guy comes with a level of cachet. So does that make you raise your level of playing, before you even hit to the court because of his resume before he gets here?
I got you. No, sir. No. We came into the building day one whenever we all were together, hitting the road. He told us because we're high character people, and we come with a level of enthusiasm every day. So no, not because he's just a high recognized coach. We come here because we respect him, 1, 2, because he built a relationship with us, and 3, because we trying to win. So no, sir.
Coach, I was listening to you talk, and you referred your team. I think you said the Temptations. Did you say the Temptations?
Absolutely.
I'm down with R&B now. Temptation got a leading singer, back in the day, David Ruffin. All right, so listen. If y'all the Temptations, who's the leader? Who's the David Ruffin? Who's the leading singer on the team?
You said you're an R&B?
Yeah, I like the R&B now.
Well, the Temptations had one microphone and one mic stand.
There you go.
And they all had their mics that came out of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and that's what I love about the Temptations. They were an accomplished band,
Yes,
okay, musical group, but they sang together. Mm-hmm. When it was time for David Ruffin to sing his solo, he spun out, and he sang his solo. And then he spun back in. And then when it was time for, Paul Williams to sing his solo, he spun out and he sang his solo and he spun back in, right?
Yes,
so they each all had their role. So when it was my girl, it was Eddie Kendricks. Okay. When it was just my imagination, it was David Ruffin.
Yes,
so you sing your solo when it's your turn.
Yes, sir.
That's
one
awesome.
mic, one team, baby.
So
and
Millen,
one sound.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so
sir.
Millen, it's
Yes,
your
sir.
turn, right?
Yes, sir.
You up.
Yes,
What
sir.
are you bringing to the Falcons team this year?
I think I bring energy to everyone, always encouraging people to get better and better every day. I think I bring a shooting aspect to the team as well. When I'm not shooting, I'm either just dishing the ball to my teammates and helping them with their shot as well, and just making sure we're all thinking as one and have one goal.
That's good.
Paxton, I got a question for you, Paxton. What position you play first and foremost?
I play forward.
4.
Yes, sir.
So, and what year is this for you?
I'm a junior.
Okay.
sir.
So, coming into your junior year, right, and you've been a part of this program with this talent, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you see, what's most important to make sure that everybody's playing as that one stand, that one unit, right? What do you see as most important that you can get out of, or that you want to see out of your teammates?
So I think our team, we have this main phrase called being Ubuntu. It's we don't really call family. So when we're in our huddle, we always go Ubuntu. It's something that coach brought up to us one of the first weeks of school, and we were talking about. It was like a group of people, and they played this game around this tree, and they had candy around the tree, and they would take steps away from the tree. They would all go to the tree, and they would share it together. No one person would take too much candy from the tree. And I think that has a big deal with our team and the way that we're going to be this year. And everyone has different things. Like, we got shooters, we got rebounders, and we're all going to work together, and it's going to be a great year.
That's awesome, man. That's an awesome response, man. Gerard, you're coming from Braden River.
Sir.
This is and you've been in that program. You had some success in that program. What do you see as just you being with the team for this short period of time? What do you see that you can bring to this program?
I feel like as a player, as an individual, I have high character and I have a high high motor all the time. I'm a person who you can depend on to guard all the way up 94 feet. I'm a person you can depend on to make a play. I just am versatile. I can bring up the ball. I can play off the ball. I just do it all. And I'm not being full of myself. It's just I feel like I put in that work in order to do all of that. So I bring up the ball sometimes. I will share the ball. I'm an unselfish player. I'm for the team. I'm a team player.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's my main aspect that I got scouted for.
I want to ask Joseph a question because I remember what Coach Sutton was, the 4 things that you said that was the goal, and one of them was to win the community. What is it tell us something about this team that maybe that the fans in the community don't know. Maybe it's just in-house, but you'd love them to know this about these guys, about the entire team.
Yeah. I feel like this team is a lot more connected than other teams. Like, I've been on teams where they're all individual, but this team is like super connected. Everybody's not like hotheads or anything like that. We're all for each other. So if something comes up and we tell each other something, they have a good response. It's not, you can hold people accountable, and I really appreciate that because that will actually drive us to the highest level we can if we all accept criticism and stuff like that, and can raise each other up.
I got a question for the players. Man, I'm just sitting here enjoying listening to y'all, man, because y'all strictly talking about team. I've heard I or me, it's team, so that's a reflection from Coach Sutton.
Yes, sir.
But my question to you basketball players, why basketball? Why the game of basketball? What do y'all love about basketball? Because this game takes a lot of dedication. It's a lot of mental that go in basketball, Yeah. So why basketball? Why y'all love basketball?
I feel like it's my calling from the Lord. Like, I have a good relationship with the Lord, and I feel like He's led me this way, and I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I have a good connection with my mom as well, and she really loves it. I just like everything about it, from moving off the ball or shooting, not even shooting, just passing, make a good pass and all that. I like the little things that matter.
Also, I feel like I played basketball since I was 6. I'm 17 now, so 11 years of this game. And I feel like it really reflects you as a person. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're good, it reflects your work that you put into it. Mm-hmm. So you can see who's lying and who's telling the truth by what they produce onto the court. And I feel like all of us put in that work, so you're going to see some great things from us.
Okay. What about you, Paxton?
I love the game of basketball. So I've been playing the game for a very long time. I lived all over the world, so I played sports like rugby, I played football, and something about having the ball in my hand, and when that shot goes in, and it will this year, it's just a great feeling that, like, it doesn't go away, and it just stays with you for the rest of the game.
Sure.
I think it all goes back to what you said. It requires a certain amount of dedication,
mm-hmm.
and like Gerard said, whatever you put into the game, it's going to give back to you. So I think it's just a nice reward. It's a nice reward that all the work you put in
Mm-hmm.
pays off.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask this question. I want whoever this question resonates with the most to answer it. Because in the game of basketball, just like life, you're going to face some adversity, right? It's going to be something that happens that don't feel good, don't taste good, don't look right, just downright dirty.
Right.
You might get your feelings hurt, you might cry. What did you learn in that moment in basketball when you faced that adversity? What was that moment that happened, and what did you learn from it?
I'll go again. I went to Virginia. I was playing for the Night Riders, and bad showing. Got sat on the bench. Never again. Came back to Florida, hit the road running, got to work. So that's where I got my hunger from. And I'll never forget that moment. I got sent down and benched. I never not started a game after that.
That's tough, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's a level of maturity with all of them, and I think that's reflective in the answers that they're giving you. And we talk about it all the time that successful people have to be able to handle prosperity, okay, and they also have to be able to handle the adversity. Mm-hmm. And so I try to put them in as many adverse situations to see the true character of who they are. Mm-hmm. And then what I do more importantly than anything else as the leader of the basketball program is to put them in situations where they're prosper and teach them the difference between, prosperity and adversity. But we got to treat both of them equally the same, okay? And we got to mature and handle those situations. Because when things are going well, we all in this room can handle things going well, okay? But when things aren't going well, many of us will start going back to who we are, and our character will start to show. So I try to teach them that, let's be consistent in who we are, and handle prosperity when we have prosperity, but also handle adversity when we're presented with adverse situations. So they all smiled when you brought up adversity, because they've heard this speech before. So.
Final question, man. We got to get out of here. And Coach, I want you to sum this up for us real quick. You've been coaching for a long period of time, Coach. You did a lot of things. You got a lot of accolades.
Absolutely. Blessed.
That man ain't that old, real.
What impact?
Wise.
There you go.
Old, man. That man ain't old.
What impact, Coach, do you hope that your coaching have on these kids and their other teammates that they have 10 years down the road? What do you want them to receive from you?
That's probably the easiest question you asked me. I use coaching as a platform. It's my ministry. It's my calling. It's everything that I want to do. I never had another job and don't want to ever have another job. I use this platform as an opportunity to impact as many lives as I possibly can, and I create living trophies. I don't have trophies that sit in the trophy case and collect dust. I pour into these young men, and every young man has ever coached with me or played for me, and they allow me to touch their lives and hear their stories and hear their dreams, and then when I drive them to help them reach their dreams. So everything that I do through the game of basketball has been ordained, okay, and led by the Lord, because the only thing I ever wanted to do was have impact. I didn't want to necessarily have a title, because I'm not just a coach, and I'm not just a leader, and I'm not just an educator, okay? I'm all of that. Okay, and so I use this platform as my ministry, and all I want to ever do is just impact as many lives as I can with the platform that I have to create living trophies.
Well, Coach,
Big, man.
I'd like to thank you and also the players for coming here today, being a part of our first basketball media day. We had a joy.
Yes,
As
sir.
Coach, I think you have a wonderful team,
Thank you.
wonderful athletes, and I can tell by their responses. Your work and your hand is already done in the lives of those guys.
Yes,
Thank you
sir,
so
man.
much.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.